Hello, hello. Welcome to Lombardi's Legends podcast. It's Dane and Wags. You're used to us, but today we have like real talk, one of the coolest guests. Folks, give it up today. Rudy Ford, safety for the Green Bay Packers, joining Lombardi's Legends podcast. Rudy, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Excited to be out here. Let's go.
We're pumped to have you on, and man, we got to ask, and it's we ask a lot of our guests, but we got to ask you, and it's a pertinent question right now. You just re-signed in Green Bay, so Rudy, our man, how does it feel to be a Green Bay Packer?
Man, it feels great. Best fans in the country. I mean, I'm absolutely ecstatic for that. And like I said, man, when I got there, um, I just love embrace the whole culture you guys have built around Green Bay, and I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And Rudy, we were super excited and pumped when we heard that you've resigned. And um, we didn't say specifically, but is it safe to say you may have tipped off that you were hoping for a deal to get done? So I'm just kind of curious, leading up to that, how much communication was there with the Packers front office between your agent and them? And did you have a pretty good idea that you would have an opportunity to come back to Green Bay, or did that call come together pretty quickly?
Um, I don't know exactly on the talks that the agent and the team had. I know for a fact that Coach Matt LaFleur, the organization. Even when I talked to Brian Goodison, the GM, when I talked to those guys, they wanted me back. So I was looking for it, and Green Bay was definitely my number one. Like I said, I want to make Green Bay my home. So that's always what I'm trying to reach and trying to approach. I want to make Packer Nation my home, and I want to come in and that's what I want to do, man. I love it in Green Bay. I love the fans. I love the culture. That it's just you can't really explain it unless you go and actually play in Lambeau Field to understand what it's really like. But yeah, man, I want to make it my home.
So we can't imagine what it'd be like to play in Lambeau Field, but man, we've been to our fair share of games,
Yeah.
regular season, preseason, family night, playoffs. We've done it all, Wags and I.
Yeah.
So put it into words if you don't mind, if you can. It's almost impossible to put it into words, but what makes Green Bay, what makes the Packers special as an organization? Because obviously the culture is rich, the legacy is rich, but like, what's it like running out of the tunnel at Lambeau, rocking the number 20, knowing you're going to just go off and play safety for the Packers?
I mean, man, it's electric, and I mean, you can't really explain it. You know what I mean? It's definitely a electric feeling. And I mean, they watch everything, everything. They are very in tuned in to every part of the game. So it just you got to be there to really understand what it's like. And I mean, and it's you get that old 100 years of football. You get that feeling when you're in the stadium. So I mean, but it's electric. Love it.
Yeah, for sure. And Rudy, you came in late, right before the season started.
Yeah.
We were fortunate. We were very excited. Packers came off of a year where special teams just were not quite where we'd want them to be. So clearly that was an emphasis last season with Coach Bisaccia coming on board. And you were definitely someone that they were targeting coming out of the camp process. So very excited and to see you have an immediate impact on teams. And not to jump ahead to that, but just building on Dane's last question, I think one of the most defining moments that stands out, obviously, this past season for you is the Dallas game and the two interceptions that you had in the first half. And I just get goosebumps thinking about that. But in the moment for you, I mean, you're playing a game, but just now that you've had some time to step back and after that game, and now with the benefit of some afterthought, what does a moment like that mean for you as a player? And to know that that's something that you can build on, and to your point, hopefully continue to have success in Green Bay.
Yeah, man. I'm here to continue to build. I'm here to continue just to show everything I can do, and how good and complete a football player I can be. I'm striving each and every day. to prove all the naysayers wrong, the doubters wrong. I mean, it's just like that movie, man. You know what I mean? We'll have to start getting some Rudy chants in the stadium. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But nah, man. All seriousness, man. I'm trying to take any constructive criticism or anything, right? And I'm just trying to mold that. It just makes me better. And actually being in Green Bay really helped improve my game. Being with that coaching staff. So I'm excited to get back. It just helped improve my game, and just was able to take it to another level. So was able to see a good glimpse. And definitely want to continue to build and just continue to build and help the organization and help our team win.
Oh man, Rudy, I'm gonna out myself a little bit here. Wags and I, a long time ago, we grew up together. I played high school football. We did us together every single Thursday night. I watched the Rudy movie
Nice,
to
man.
get hyped for the next day. So you telling
Yeah.
me that, hey, I just love it. So, question for you, man. You've been in the league, right? It's
Yeah.
not like last year was your first year in the league, and
Right.
I look at previous years from you when you came into Green Bay. I think that the general consensus was awesome. Rudy Ford's going to be a really good special teams guy. He's going to help hold it down. But then, like, all of a sudden, we're like, wait, dude can play on defense. Like, dude can really play on defense. And you kept showing and showing and building off that. So my question for you is, I mean, is there a thin line? Like, is it about opportunity? The word gets thrown around so often, and I think there's great talent in the league, and some guys just never seem to get a chance to pop, or they never get that consistent chance to play. But you seized that opportunity last year. You're becoming a household name in Green Bay. So is it opportunity? Is it hard work? Is it luck? What is it? Because whatever secret sauce you have, man, like, you got
it. Yeah, man. I would definitely say, it's about opportunity. You know what I mean? And you definitely got to be able to capitalize on what chance you get, because a lot of things kind of happen, and especially for me, 6th-round pick, you kind of you got to work from the bottom and grind, you got to work from the bottom and grind, each and every day, and then when you get those chances, very few or whatever chances you get, be able to capitalize and make the most out of them. And each and every time, that's what I got to go out there and do. And take every chance that I'm given and just go out and show, and like I said, man, I can play football, and was able to see that last year. I'm excited to come back, and I just want to continue to build. Hopefully, those chances and opportunities are going to be there. But man, like I said, I'm excited to be back at the Packers, man, and I'm excited to be with the guys, man. Go out there and go to war and go to battle with those guys. Put a lot into it, and everybody out there, work hard, from the coaches, even equipment staff and the trainers. I mean, everybody works real hard, so man, like I said, man, I'm excited. I'm very, I know what I want to bring to the table, and man, shoot, I can't, it's football's right around the corner, we just really chomping at the bit to get back at it. Definitely.
For sure. Rudy, just kind of curious if you can take us through how's the body feeling, first of all, with the off season, and are you cycling up, and kind of what have you been focusing on with the workouts? When you get to be Danes and my age, be honest, we just try not to embarrass ourselves when we're at,
man,
at the
you
gym.
guys are young.
We're going to clip that quote, young, Rudy. Man. We're clipping that quote. We like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Nah, man, you guys are young. I would say, man, after going through a whole 17-week plus, I was in a different training camp, but just, football is football, I would say for me, the biggest thing is, like I'm truly blessed. I thank God each and every day for, for my speed and abilities. And, I'm a very physical player. So, I'm just, grateful and always thankful for those attributes that I have. But nah, man, for me, this year, it's going into my going into the 7th season. For this year, my body, I'm just working on, man, all the little things, because believe it or not, we always see the world as the big things, but it's always those little things that kind of add up, and then once they add up, then then they become an issue for the bigger things, you know. So doing like, you know, extra stretching, you know, Pilates workouts, you know, just doing all the little things of corrective work to really enforce, you know. So it's a lot of maintenance work, you know. Honestly, going through the off season, a lot of maintenance work, and just kind of, you know, keep your body tuned up, fresh as possible. Get ready, you know, because the season's very long. You know, things happen, so you know you always want to try to give your body the best, you know, put in the best shape it can be, and then you know always want to keep it fresh as possible.
Yeah, and Dane, I apologize for jumping in, but just
Oh,
a
go.
follow up to that. I'm just curious, are there any guys on the team or around the league that you spend some time working out with during the off season as well?
Man, there's a lot of guys, you know, out working out, grinding. Um, but particularly this off season, it just kind of been a real kind of like tailored, you know. In the summertime is when I really focus and I get with other guys and start really like, you know, measuring up as far as like, you know, we going out doing drills together, we going out and competing, doing things of that nature. I think like right now is the time a lot of guys just kind of are chilling with their families, you know, just kind of doing their own little thing right now because, you know, OTAs hasn't started yet. So this is the kind of time period of where a lot of guys have time with their families. They want to spend time, you know, in that area, kind of give their body a rest. And then, you know, once you get back to whatever club or organization you're going back to, you know, then you'll be around the guys again, and you be able to, you know, y'all gonna be grinding again. You know, just a little bit chilly before training camp. Training camp's the real grind, but yeah, you know, right now, I think everybody around is more than likely doing their own like little individual thing. It's just kind of how it kind of goes. You know, everybody just kind of do their own little individual thing. I mean, some people are different, but pretty much, you know, a lot of people use this time as family time and to spend time with their families, even coaches included. You know, they try to, you know, whenever they get us a break, you know, they want to try to, you know, me squeezing some time with my family, you know. So and like I said, it's all important. You know, we all are human. So, you know what I mean? But that's kind of how I use this time.
Rudy, you said football's football, and totally. And we also mentioned that
Yeah.
you came in, um, you know, after camp was done.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to, you know, get up to speed on this defense, right? Because like I
Um,
can't imagine you just stepped in and were like, all right, I know where I'm going. Because that was pretty incredible to us how quickly you were able to seem, at least from the outside perspective, to assimilate and be a meaningful part of this D.
yeah, man. You know, I would say the one thing is when I got to Green Bay, you know, I had some great coaches. You know, man, RD, we call him RD, is our new safeties coach. So, you know, our RD, man, he was able to, him, Jerry Gray, Joe Barry, really everybody, you know, they're really the whole coaching staff is really, they're very, they're very great at teaching the game, you know, and they're very great at taking a player, hey, and using his strengths and hey, these are your weaknesses, and let's see if we can bring these up. You know, so they're very good at you know, doing those things. And I would just say, you know, when I came in, you know, like learning the playbook to me is I'm a very fast learner. I pick up on things very quickly. So you know, I have no issues, no problems. It'll probably, you know, 9 times out of 10, it's like, you know, cover one is cover one, that's man. You know, cover two zones, cover three, another zones, you know, then you got your 5-man pressures, you got your fire zones, you know, with the blitzes. So it's kind of deciphering all those. I would say once you go to a different place, you just kind of want to decipher the terminology. You know, the terminology is different. Hey, we may call this this, you know, it's just something else. You know what I mean? Like they may call something. I just throw out a name, just to, you know what I mean? Because you know, I don't, you know, but just say we call something zig or and then you got something you know what I'm saying, just X's and O's, you know, it just kind of you just call things different language, you know, at different places. Sometimes the system is very similar. They just kind of play it and tweak it a little bit differently. But yeah, man, just terminology be very different sometimes. So once you get caught up on the terminology, hey, what do you call this? Okay, I had this. We called it somewhere else. We called this this when we was at this when I was on this other team. Okay, it's very similar. Okay, how do you guys, want to how do you want to critique it? Are we adjusting the movements? Is you guys want this depth? It's just all the small little things, and so that's kind of what that's just kind of, but it's very like the game of football is football. You got real football players, you know what I mean? It's gonna go out, tackle, hit. You got to be able to play, baby. You know what I mean? Can't be scared of no contact. I mean, it's a violent sport, as we all know. And you got to be able to go. You know what I mean? So we actually, we put things on lines like we're gladiators out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It's I would say, yeah, man. I'm just, I was able to pick up on it, and I had excellent teachers around me, just to make sure that I understood the terminology, the language, and also had really good teammates. So I mean, it was just a good fit all around.
Yeah, and I was going to segue into the teammates and chemistry side of things as a follow up to that, because we know that's important as well. Before I ask that question, though, Rudy, our chat room is blowing up, so we just got to show you some love for a minute here. So Wayne in the chat says, "Yes, I see Rudy Ford. He's going to be the next big thing, alongside with Jair and the rest of the Green Bay Packers defense." That's a fact. That's a fact. I love it, Wayne. Thanks so much for jumping in. We're not going to be able to get to everything in the chat, but I just wanted to make sure you knew that there's other fans out there watching and listening in and showing you the love.
Tell the fans, man, go follow me on IG, man. We're gonna, you know what I mean? I would love to do a signed jersey giveaway, man. Definitely. Man, it's gonna, I'm excited. Like I said, man, I'm excited to get back to Green Bay. I'm excited to I love I love all the love, man. I'm just like being back at home, so awesome. I'm really excited.
Any way we can help with the, facilitate the signed jersey stuff. We want to be helpful. We love it, man. We love what you're doing. That's so cool, man. This is awesome. Yeah. So I got a question for you, man. Like where does the passion come from? You fly around. You're like a missile out there. You're always around the ball on the defense. I mean, has it always been that way for you? I mean, even in the league, right? Some guys just seem to be around the ball, have a nose for the football. Obviously, Wags mentioned the 2 picks against Dallas, but man, I think you just like to beat up on teams that we don't like. You had a recovery against the Bears, the list goes on. So how does this come about? I mean, is it just right place at right time, or you just have a nose for the ball?
Nah, man, I got a nose for the ball. I got a knack to go get that football. And that's what I want to show in my game. I got that knack to get that football. And a lot of part of my game, is you got to find your why. You know what I mean? And everybody's why is different. Why they get up in the morning, why they do what they do. If you're gonna drag out of the bed or you're gonna get up, let's go. You know what I mean? So a big part of me, I haven't really talked about it as much or anything like that. But for me, like I said, everybody's life, they go through things and stuff like that, and the big thing with me was, back then when I was a freshman, at Auburn, my mom, she had a heart attack, and so she just every time I get up, you know what I mean? She, I always notice, so she's a very strong woman, very strong individual. She's been bedridden for the past about 10 years. It's just amazing that, we take care of her, but it's just amazing that, she's still, breathing air, you know what I mean? So, but that's just like my why. Why do I get up, and what keeps me going, you know what I mean? So, it's like that pushes me even more, and gives me that grind, as far
up and Rudy might have dropped. I think he's back now.
Can you hear me? Yeah, my bad, man. These people, people calling me, man. Man. But nah, man. I just think it's it's important for everyone out there to just figure out your why. Is it your family? If you got kids, a lot of people grind for different things. And man, shoot, I'm sure you guys got your whys of why you guys get up in the morning, why you guys love to do what you do, what puts smiles on your faces and things like that. So, I think it's very important, once you figure out your why, okay, and then, it kind of gets you going, let me attack this day, so that just kind of been my approach. And with that, it just allows me to go, I'm able to just, put that all on the line, and that just kind of, my, you know what I mean? It kind of gets me going. And then when I go out there and play, it's just like, have no fear, just, put your body on the line and everything. You know what I mean? So it just kind of creates that, man. And I don't know. It's like that. And then I love the only anime I ever got into was Dragon Ball Z, man. Goku and Vegeta, man. I like those two characters. But nah, man, like it's like the same thing, They always face their battles. But every time they keep leveling up. It's always an opponent or a different challenge they got to face every time. You know what I mean? It's just like keep letting up, that won't be denied. Same thing like the Rudy movie. You know what I mean? Won't be denied, baby. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man. Like I said, man, I'm excited, man. I'm happy to be on this podcast. Yeah, man, let's go.
For sure. Rudy, well, thank you so much for sharing that. I know that sometimes it's not easy to be vulnerable and share that story. So, and thank goodness that your mom, you're blessed that she's still with you. And I think that's so important that you get the opportunity to share with Packer fans who you are really as a person. We see you as a player, but that's why we that's why we like to do this, so that we can not only we have the opportunity to talk to you, but so that everyone else out there can see who you are as a person too, and not just as a football player.
Oh man, at the end of the day, man, we all got lives, man, and I feel like, at the end of the day, it's always important, and always I feel like even my Coach Malzahn, who I had in college, one thing he would always engrave in us is always, use your influence in a positive way, and I think sometimes, like I said, man, life comes at you in different type of ways, and like we all got our battles of things that challenges us in our lives, so you know what I mean? I just kind of take a few kind of quotes, you know what I mean? It's been given to me, passed down to me, man, by some good influential coaches, Coach Richard Bisaccia. I can't forget it, you know what I mean? He hit me up right after I signed, man. He told me, hey, the only easy day was yesterday. And that's very, you know what I mean? You can't let that go over your head, but that's that sticks with me. The only easy day was yesterday. We here today, you know what I mean? So, nah, man, like I said, man, I love it, man. I'm looking forward to getting back in the green and gold, man. And let's go.
You mentioned Coach Bisaccia. I mean, he was like a breath of fresh air to us Packer fans. We were really pumped. I mean, is he the real McCoy? I mean, like he seems like he's 1000% legit. Like what you see is what you get with that guy. Is that your experience with him too?
Yeah, man, he's the real deal. He is the real deal. And I would say this, I don't think it's a player on this team or any team that he's been on that wouldn't give it their all for him, and I mean, he has a way of really attacking a player's mindset, helping them with life, helping them improve their game. I think he has a lot of he is that charisma, it's very influential. I mean, man, it's like I said, man, I absolutely love Coach Richard Bisaccia, man. Like I said, at the end of the day, man, I'm very I'm thankful, and I'm like I said, I'm also thankful for Matt LaFleur, Joe Barry, Ryan Donald. I mean, I'm just thankful for all those guys, but man, I like I said, man, yeah, he is the real deal, and yeah, it's fun playing for him. Like, and so yeah, man.
For sure. I'm just kind of curious, and this is about you. So if you don't
Mhm,
quite know how to answer this question, that's fine. But
mhm.
just looking at some of the other guys that are currently or have been on the roster in the past, a guy like Razul Douglas had been in the league and kind of not the same route that you took to the Packers, but had kind of a second opportunity, or not a second opportunity, but made the most of his opportunity in Green Bay, and kind of similar to what you're doing now. A guy like Shandon Sullivan, who you didn't play with in Green Bay, but went over to the Vikings last year, had kind of a similar track. Is that something in the league or in the locker room that you guys ever talk about, or is it just kind of everybody's got a different path and that's kind of just a normal everyday thing in the NFL?
Yeah, I feel like everybody's got a different path. And you know, everybody's got a different path, and at the same time, we all there, and we all trying to, fight for better and for greater opportunities. Um, that's kind of you know, yeah, that's just kind of that. I feel like it's different. Like my challenges and what I got to go through would be totally different than a lot of other guys. But at the end of the day, hey, let's line them up, let's go. And like I said, man, yeah, I'm here, man. Like, but I do feel like everybody got, different routes of where they're gonna go and how they're going to everybody's life is different, so I feel like everybody has different challenges. Yeah.
Rudy, I got a question here, and I want to be mindful of your time, but I got a couple here. But one of them is, there's a ton of chatter right now about safety, right? like there's all these draft gurus, there's all this stuff out there. My question
Oh
for
man.
you, man, is first of all, we're on the record as saying we like the room we got in Green Bay right now. We put our name on it. We like the six safeties in that room. We think you're a starting safety in this league. So we're just going to say that
Me
right on
too.
the front. Yeah, I
Me
know,
too.
right? And that's
Yeah.
what
Me too.
exactly.
Yeah.
My question for you then is, how flexible are you? You play free safety, but could you play strong safety? Can you move around the defense? What's your comfort level in this defense to be able to move around? Because what we watch from an eye test perspective, we think you can play multiple positions on this defense.
100%. I agree with you. Like I said, man, I could play either safety, free or strong. Um, like I said, I could play free safety, and strong, and then also like I have a little bit of nickel background from me coming from Jacksonville. So I'm able to do I'm able to do a lot of things, and like I said, man, me giving those hands, the right opportunities, let's go, and but yeah, I feel like I can play either one. Um, Last year, I played both, but I was more, I started to take over the dominant role of the free for most of the season. But I did have a game where we played against the Patriots. I was that strong.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And I think one of the things that's really exciting is the interchangeable
Yeah,
nature of what you guys can do. I mean, we've seen some of the other guys move around a little bit. Darnell
yeah,
Savage moved around a little bit last year.
yeah.
And it looks like he's going to be settling back kind of at where he had been previously as well. But I'm sure that's going to be part of the competition process with all of you, right? Is to go through that and prove that you're one of the best guys to be out on that field. So I'm just kind of curious. I forgot to ask this question. I got a little bit sidetracked earlier. But when it comes to that chemistry with the guys that are out there, how important is that to you in terms of not only your fit within a defense, right place, right time, some of the things Dane mentioned, and that you guys talked about, but the chemistry with the guys around you? Because, I have to think that, the more familiarity you have and the more comfortable, and yes, communication and X's and O's is all part of that, but just knowing and trusting that the guy next to you sees exactly what you do, and they're going to be reacting and moving around and being in the position that you expect them to be. So I'm just kind of curious if you could comment on that and how much the chemistry plays a role with you guys in the backside of that secondary as well.
Yeah, man. I would say, chemistry plays a big role. I would say, it just even out there, because we play the game, and it's like you want to make sure that because we all, like I said, we all have a job to do. And it's like when we out there, we got to bond like brothers. When we out there, we got to stick together. Win, lose, or draw. You know what I mean? And that's important. So I would definitely say, chemistry is very big, very huge thing. And it's just like, not letting the guy next to you down. That's a, true statement. You want to be able to get your job done and do it. You don't want to, like I said, there's plays and things that happen in football, that you can't prepare for everything. But at the same time, you don't want to let your brother down, so it's, so I would say, man, having that, and then always, man, like, even even playing, you know what I mean? So it's like, man, like say the same thing when I was able to get those get some interceptions, create turnovers or anything, right? That raises the play level of everybody. You know what I mean? It's just all absolute fun. Everybody wants to get a part of that. Rasul got some picks, Jair got some picks. Man, Savage got a pick, man. I mean, just go back to that Minnesota game, man, like freaking Amos, he got him a pick. Like, I mean, it was just absolutely all across the board, man. D-line was going absolutely, man. They were playing their butts off, man, having a good time, making plays. So, I mean, like I said, man, it's contagious. When you have guys that, want to get that knack for that ball, I mean, it just raises your play level up. You got those true competitors, so it raises your play level up. Let's go, and I mean, yeah, man, it's just exciting. You know what I mean?
Well, I think of Rudy. I think of that pick in the end zone when you jumped that route. I think it was to Schultz and Prescott let it rip. And I mean, folks, go back and look if you have a short memory. Packers down 7-0 already. But Cowboys looking like they're about to go up 14. Rudy Ford just steps in front of the ball in the end zone, picks it off. And I will always, maybe my favorite call from TV of 2022 will be Rudy Ford running down the sideline with a caravan of Green Bay Packers. And like you say, it's the energy level goes up a notch. Yeah. It did go up a notch. I mean, you had 2 picks on that game. It was awesome. I got to ask you then, dude, and it's not if, it's when you get in the end zone this year, wondering if you would do a Lambeau leap. Do you hear me?
Say it again. Say it again.
Oh, yeah. We lost you just for a second. No worries, man. So this year, it's not if, it's no. It's not if you get in the end zone this year. When you get in the end zone this year, are you doing a Lambeau leap?
Yeah, man, I got to do a Lambeau leap, man. Definitely. I missed that. I didn't get to do one last season. But man, I'm definitely gonna do a Lambeau leap, man. It's tradition, man. That's what I'm excited for. I'm definitely doing a Lambeau leap. Let's go, yeah.
So, Rudy, what you got to think about, and I know that when you're out there on the field, you can't really plan this out, but who's going to be the number 1 lead blocker after you get the pick to try to get that pick six? Like on the defensive side of the ball, are you getting behind Kenny or close. I mean, okay, all right.
I'm about to get behind everybody, whoever's close, man. It's the same thing, man. If anybody in the secondary makes a play, man, shoot, if I'm over there, I got to be that first blocker for them. It's the same thing, man. That's like, shoot, I'm gonna be the first blocker for them, and same thing, vice versa, man. Hopefully, be the same blocker for me. Let's go, yeah.
Would you ever pitch the ball?
Kenny Clark would be great, though. To be.
But my question
I can
is,
imagine him running full speed. I don't think too many people want to take that on.
No.
Well, that's what going to be my next question. Would you, under any circumstances, ever lateral the ball to Kenny Clark if he's running behind you and someone's coming up for the tackle? Do you trust Kenny first of all, to catch the ball if you pitch it to him, and secondly, if he gets that head of steam going, is he going to take it all the way to the house?
Man, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting into Kenny, man. I wouldn't mind getting into Kenny, man. That'll be that'll definitely should make Sports Center top 10 for sure. He might. Shoot, man. I think he might even get in the end zone.
All right, that's a true teammate right there, willing to give up the ball with an opportunity to score from your D lineman. But man,
they say keep it in the skill positions hands.
For sure.
Well,
so go ahead, Dane.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, I got one last one for you. You've been super generous with your time, and I guess it goes more to, outside the game, like, when you're getting ready for a ball game, I always like to know what the mindset. There's such a mindset aspect of playing football at any level, but the NFL, it's massive. Are you a music guy? What are you listening to? What are you into? Are you a hype up guy? Are you a cool off guy before you get out there? What's that look like?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm cool, calm, and collective. Yeah, I'm very, very, very calm. Yeah, it's like less is more, because when I get on the field, like I said, like you guys mentioned, my play style and how I play, it just shows. So, before a game or anything, I just got to make sure I'm relaxed as possible. I don't do those, my warm-ups are very different. So I'm very particular about what I got to do as far as like warming up and getting my body ready. But, as far as like, going all the running and all that stuff, I can't do all that. Nah, man, it's not my thing. And I got to listen to my music choice beforehand. It's like very slow, calm music, that kind of. And then, but once I get to, it's like slow, calm music the night before and then the day. And then once I actually, it depends if we on a away game or if we, before I hit the bus or if we on or if we got a home game and, as we go into the stadium, then I'll transfer it over to, some up-tempo, ready to go music.
Rudy, I've got one question that goes in line with that, but it's a little more offbeat. Folks can check out your Insta and they'll understand this question when I ask it. But I have no style. I've seen the pictures, particularly when you're traveling. Rudy, I can say you've got style. I want to know what goes into your process for how you pick out your outfits for when you're going into a travel. Is it comfort? Is it mood? Is it opponent? Is it where you're traveling to? What's the whole thought process? I need to learn some things from you so that I can maybe have a little bit more style.
I would say, man, like it's a little bit of it all. I definitely want to make sure I'm wearing something comfortable. Shoot, and like you got to prepare for the weather in Green Bay as well. I got a dose of it when I first came. Last season, I didn't know when it was cold. I had to go get a big jacket, man, and definitely had to get used to it. But I would say definitely comfort. But my style is me, man. I like to I think I got a good style. Kind of like to mismatch a little bit, but I bring it all together though, and do my best to bring it all together. And but yeah, man. I mean, I can't really say, man. I just like to be a smooth, clean. You know what I mean? Like what I put on, I like to be smooth and clean with it.
For sure. Well, I appreciate that. I guess I'll just have to continue to watch you and some of your teammates' photos and see if I can pull any of it off. I probably not, but we'll see what we can do. So.
Rudy, we might at camp. We might have to. You might have to give Wags a rating. We might have to pull you aside, and you might have to rate his attire. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Rudy, before we let you go.
Yeah, we'll definitely be at camp. Yeah, we're down in Madison, so we're a couple hours outside Green Bay.
Oh, okay.
But we always like to make a couple stops throughout camp and, say what's
Oh, nice.
up and cover camp and just, give folks an idea of what we're seeing on the ground on our end of things. So, we always like to say hey to past guests and past friends. So we'll definitely be reaching out to you.
Oh, yeah, man. Definitely, man. All right, man. Look forward to seeing you guys.
Absolutely. Rudy, before you go, we always ask, can you give us a good Go Pack Go?
Go Pack Go.
Go Pack Go. How awesome. Folks, Rudy Ford, safety for the Green Bay Packers. What an honor it was. Thank you, Rudy. You have an awesome night. We really appreciate you, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. You guys too.
Thanks, Rudy. Yep. All right, Dane. Well, we should let Rudy go, and we're going to go to a break here and talk about our sponsor, Leap Spirits. And of course, it's opening day this past week. Baseball season is upon us, folks. And so nothing more perfect than grabbing a bottle of Leap Spirits vodka, or even better, some of their Robinade combined with the Leapin' Lemonade, because that's going to be just spectacular to have at the tailgate. So, Dane, I don't know if you've grabbed any Leap Spirits lately and had an opportunity to watch some baseball yet, but I think it's the perfect time to go ahead and do that.
I mean, I'll tell you what, Wags. So, I love Leap Spirits vodka. Football season, it's awesome, right? A little bit of tailgate, a little bit, a little Sunday morning brunch before the game starts. Give me that. But Wags, you're right. Baseball season is upon us. It's a little chilly out right now, but heck, even by this weekend, it's going to be in the 60s. And in Wisconsin, y'all know in Wisconsin, it's 60 degrees. It might as well be summertime for us. So Leapin' Lemonade is the way to go. It's two iconic legends, right? We got Robin Yount's Robinade. We've got Leroy Butler's Leap Spirits. You combine it into an incredible drink for baseball season. So I can't, promote it enough. Folks, go to leapspirits.com. Check out, you're 21 plus, go to leapspirits.com. Check it out. Get some of your own today. It's the best vodka on the market. I'll put it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find Leap Spirits and Leapin' Lemonade by going to their website at leapspirits.com, as Dane said, and click on Find Leap Spirits. There's stores and restaurants all over Wisconsin. So go ahead, and if you haven't given it a shot, give it a try. Perfect for a spring day, catching some baseball or firing up that grill. So, Dane, let's get some reaction here. So we've had so many comments in the chat, and I'm really sorry, everyone, we weren't able to get to everyone because we were just having such a great conversation with Rudy that I didn't want to pull away from that. But at the same time, Dane, what's your instant reaction after having had a chance to talk to Rudy and see how excited he is to be back with the Packers?
Dude, I mean, that's infectious, right? Like, Rudy Ford's personality is absolutely infectious. No reason he fit right in this locker room. He seems like a guy who's happy to be there, but also extremely motivated and shows up to work motivated, wants to play ball. We talk to a lot of professional athletes. We talk to a ton of Packers, and we're so fortunate, have some awesome guests on. But I'll tell you what, sometimes guys just pop where you go, that guy loves the game. That guy's happy to, wake up in the morning and be a Green Bay Packer. Rudy Ford's that guy. We didn't know Rudy ahead of this interview. We didn't have a chance to talk with him prior to him jumping on tonight. And I'm so impressed by him. I'm so excited to have a guy like him. He's a veteran presence at safety for the Packers. As you mentioned, he's going into year 7. And I truly believe Rudy Ford's going to be a starting safety for the Packers this year. I think he's going to play a ton of meaningful snaps.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be competition there, but what I will say is sometimes it's easy to look at, where was a guy drafted and, what has he done before, in his previous stops. And those are some of the things that, a track record matters. I'm not going to discount that. But at the same time, there's other intangibles. There's the work that you put in off the field, in between practices, in between games, in the off season. And we've got a number of guys in Green Bay, and there's lots of guys in the league that put in the work, but there's also lots of guys that don't. And so when you're talking about first round talent versus a guy like Rudy Ford that went in the 6th round, we've seen it so many times. Sometimes just talent isn't going to get you by. And in fact, it doesn't at the NFL level. You've got to have some of the other mental and grind and the ability to just get after it and really love to play football to be able to take your game to the next level. And just look at the Packers locker room. We talked about it with Rudy. We've got Rasul Douglas, perfect example that plays right with him in the secondary. Past years, we had Shandon Sullivan, a guy that was kind of cast aside. Comes in and has a nice career. Unfortunately, moved on, but there's guys all over the roster that have had opportunities. And while I agree with Rudy that everyone has their own story, not every organization I think fosters that. There are other good organizations out there that do that, but I think Green Bay is kind of making a bit of a name for itself with some of these guys around the league. That if you could come in and, you've got to do the job, no doubt about it. But if you come in, do the work and, really grind every day, the difference in the talent level isn't going to be that much. And the Packers coaching staff and front office have proven at the end of the day, they really don't care about the number behind your draft position. They care about what you're doing out on the football field and away from the football field. That's going to enable you to be in a position to have long-term success. So, Dane, yes, Rudy Ford, I think embodies that to a T. And that's why I'm really excited as well to see what he's going to be able to do this year.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, Regs. I mean, look at just in relatively recent past, Tramon Williams was one of those kind of guys. Sam Shields, another one of those guys, right? I mean, look at, you said it on the pod. Rasul Douglas. Rasul Douglas was on the practice squad, right? And the Packers were able to find him, and he showed out with, again, theme of I think this podcast today was opportunity. You give guys opportunities, some guys just show up, and I think Rudy Ford's the next in line potentially to be that guy who locks in a starting role for the Packers, not just this year but potentially down the road.
Yeah, for sure. And I do want to address, because I saw a lot of questions in the chat around Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, asked Rudy Ford. It's kind of tempting in a way, but I'll be honest with you. He plays on the defensive side of the ball. He played on the Packers for one season with Aaron Rodgers and has not probably had that many opportunities to work with Jordan Love. So, I definitely appreciate, and it's tempting to ask a guy like Rudy Ford when he comes in. We really try to make it about the guys when they come on and agree to come on to the podcast and not get into a bunch of other stuff that doesn't really have anything to do with them. So appreciate your patience and really appreciate everyone for throwing your thoughts and questions into the chat, but definitely just wanted to address that real quickly as well.
Yeah. No, go for it. Go for it.
That being said, Dane, just opening up the floor now that Rudy's done with us. Any thoughts on Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love situation?
I mean, we know the same thing, I think, as we knew 2 weeks ago, more or less. I mean, I think the real question is, do they get a deal done before the draft? And I think the answer is going to be, yeah. It could even be a draft day trade for all we know at this point. But, you see a lot of noise out there. Wags, I'm convinced nobody really knows what they're talking about because, I've heard, well, maybe it's going to happen this week. It might happen this week. Is this guy a part of it? Is this at the end of the day, I hear conflicting sources from sources that I trust. So I don't really know what's going to happen there other than, buckle up. And I would expect this to get done before the draft.
Yeah, honestly. And Dane, you and I follow the Packers as close as anyone. My unsolicited advice is, to back away from this story. And when it happens, because there's nothing new that's coming out until the trade is actually announced. I think we all understand that this is going to happen eventually. And I gave up trying to follow the moment to moment and the day to days of this story. Couple of weeks ago, I'll be honest, probably a few days after Aaron announced that his intentions were to be the starting quarterback of the New York Jets next season. There's finality in that as far as I'm concerned. And as you said, the draft is a deadline, and deadlines tend to spur action. So we'll see, I think, something happen here eventually. There's just no real urgency for either side to get anything done right now.
Yeah, no, couldn't agree more. Anything else you want to touch on tonight, Wags? I mean, I know we're going to be back at it with some of the off-season work on starting on April 17th. We're going to have a ton to talk about a lot of the guys that are going to be showing up to that. All eyes will be on Jordan Love, certainly at that, in addition to a lot of the other guys. And then, of course, the draft at the end of April. And, we're not draft nicks by, I think, any stretch. We're definitely not one of those. But we'll probably talk a little bit of draft between now and draft day, and kind of give a little bit input. And don't be surprised if we, definitely go heavy once we know who we got as well. We're going to be doing all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, there's no off season in the NFL, and certainly not for our podcast. We love talking Packers in season, but we sure as hell love talking about it in the off season as well.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be nice to know what picks we're going to be dealing with going into the draft as well. That might help formulate some of the discussion. But in any event, stick with us. We'll be back with the podcast, I think, in the next hopefully week or so, just to start to prep and think about the draft as that's coming up here in the very near future. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in, for all of the comments. And obviously, thanks to Rudy Ford for joining us this evening.
Yeah. Thanks so much, folks. Find us on Instagram and, Facebook and Twitter, wherever you get it. Please like, share, tell everybody. But just thanks for joining us. And again, thanks to Rudy Ford. What a special guest. Awesome guy. I'm really looking forward to having him back in Green Bay this year.
For sure. As always, be legendary and go Pack.
Go Pack, go.
Every year I know we gonna go hard. We been that team ever since Bart started. All my cheese heads go Pack go. Ain't showing no mercy, cutting no slack, no. I ain't a bad sport and I'll even wish you good luck. Only thing I will